In this video lecture, we're going to take a quick look at some causes and examples of endless for looping and how to avoid it. Okay, let's get started. So just as we discussed for while looping, the endless loop problem can also crop up in for looping. As a refresher, an endless loop, or an infinite loop, happens when a loop's body executes continuously without end. The symptoms of an infinite loop will differ depending upon what the loop body may be doing. If there's no output being displayed, your program may appear to be hung, while under the hood the loop body is spinning continuously. If there is output being displayed, it will probably be spewed out endlessly. In either case, it's game over, and it's up to you, the user, to terminate program execution somehow. In endless for looping, the probable causes, or gotchas, may differ somewhat from those for endless while looping. With for loops, one possibility is that you have an incorrect loop condition, such that the loop condition may never get satisfied. Another possibility is an incorrect loop increment or decrement operation, such that loop iteration is proceeding in the wrong direction, away from satisfying the loop condition. And finally, maybe you've forgotten to include one or more of the three loop control elements. Without a properly formulated for loop statement, your for loop iteration is simply going to execute uncontrolled. Technically, any one of the three loop control elements, either initialization, condition, or update, may be omitted. However, under most normal circumstances, this is usually not what you want. Let's have a look at some examples to make this a little more concrete. This annotated code example shows both a proper for loop for reference, here on the left, and then four possible examples of infinite for loops here on the right. Notice the way this is set up. We have these 5 Boolean loop flags at the head of the file, which control whether or not each for loop actually executes. Because after all, otherwise, these 4 on the right would simply go haywire. So these flags need to be enabled and the code recompiled to see any specific for loop execute. As a correct reference, here's what a proper for loop is supposed to look like. We begin at index I equals 1, increment by 1 each time here, and loop up until I equals 5. So this loop body message should print out 5 times. In each one of these endless loops on the right, the offending part of the loop setup is highlighted. In this second example, the loop condition is backwards, such that it will always be true. If we count up from 1, the loop condition will always be true, and this loop body message will spew endlessly. To fix this, we need to set a loop condition that we know will eventually be reached. In this third example, the loop condition has been fixed, but we have our loop increment backwards. Instead of counting up from 1 to 5, now we are counting down from 1, and this intended loop condition will never be reached. So again, this loop body message will spew endlessly, but now for a different reason. To fix this, we need to turn this loop index decrement into an increment. In this fourth example, the loop initialization and loop condition both look fine, but we've neglected to include any loop update. So our loop index will never change and will never reach this loop condition. Again, this loop body message will spew endlessly. To fix this, we really need some sort of loop update that corresponds to the loop condition we've set. Finally, in this fifth example, this represents the for loop equivalent of the while true infinite looping we showed earlier. This might be seen for some individual task in an embedded systems application, but under any other circumstances, we probably wouldn't want this unless we really meant it. Once again, if you find your program stuck in some infinite loop, you need to terminate execution by hitting End in the JGrasp command window. To see what these loops look like when they fail like this, please finish up by viewing the short code walkthrough for looping for endless.java, which you'll find in the usual place. Open up this file in JGrasp to follow along, or play around for yourself. Okay. That's it on this topic of endless for looping.